Since we're multiplying by 1,000, our answer is going to be quite a bit bigger than 8 and 31/100ths. Okay, so if it's going to be bigger, that means we're going to move this decimal to the right. And this, how many zeros there are, is telling us how many places to move it to the right. So in this case, since our answer is going to be bigger, we're going to move it to the right 3 spots. And so then our answer for this one would be 8,310. Okay, the next one, if it's an exponent, okay, this also is going to be quite a bit bigger because 10 to the third power is the same as 1,000. So since it's going to be bigger, we're going to move it to the right, and the exponent tells us how many times. So we're going to move that decimal over 3 spots to the right, and we get 9,200. Now, the last video we decided or discussed how to multiply times a power of 10 in a decimal. Now this is less than 1. So when I multiply by something less than 1, which would be a decimal or a fraction, then my answer is going to be smaller than this number we're multiplying by, which basically means instead of we're going to the right, we're now going to go to the left. And this is over 1 spot, so that means we're going to move this over 1 spot. And since we're multiplying by something less than 1, our answer is going to be smaller, 1 72/100ths. Here as well, we're multiplying by something less than 1, so that means we're going to move the decimal to the left. And this time we're going to move it 2 spots to the left. And if I do that, I end up getting 78 thousandths. And then the last one, this one is way smaller than 1 whole. That means 1 piece out of 1,000. And this one is 3 spots over. So that means in our answer, we're going to move the decimal 3 spots to the left, since it's getting smaller, and that would be 18 thousandths. So now that leads us to what we're talking about today, and that's dividing by powers of 10. Now if you think about it, if I divide anything by 10, my answer is going to be smaller than what I started with. Okay, same if I divided by 100, it's going to be quite a bit smaller than what I started with. So since we divide by a whole number, it's going to be a smaller answer. That means we're going to divide the decimal, or sorry, move the decimal, however many spots the zeros tell us to the left. Okay, so on this one, 78 and 1/10, if I split that into 10 equal pieces, each piece, and we're going to move it 1 spot to the left since it has 1 0, would be 7 81/100ths. Now if I'm dividing by 100, there's 2 zeros there. If I divide by 100, that's going to be quite a bit smaller. So since it's going to be smaller, we move to the left. So 1, 2 spots to the left, and that would give you 4 198 thousandths. Now 218, remember the decimal's right at the end. This time I'm dividing by 100, and if I divide by 100, I'm going to move to the left 2 spots. So if I took 218 and divided it by 100, I would get 2 18/100ths. That's how you divide by a power of 10.